Alright, so in this question we're gonna try to figure out what is T alpha over 2. T is for the T distribution table. Alright, what they're gonna give you is a confidence interval which is 90% and as well the sample size which is 8. Alright, so what you need to know. So first of all, what we know about the T distributions, they are very similar to the normal distribution. They are just a little flatter, right? So here, still the mean is going to be in the middle. It's going to be 0, and standard deviation is going to be 1, supposedly, right? Okay, so the axis here can be called the T axis, all right? So if we want to do the 90 percentile confidence interval, so what we get C equals to 0.90 and we have N equals to 8. All right, so that's the sample size. So now what's the meaning of C equals 0.90? It means that we are having this area is going to be 90%. All right, so this is going to be 90%. It means we want to identify the tails as well. All right, so these two tails over here, this tail over here, the size of this tail and the size of this tail, that's what we're going to call alpha. So this alone is going to be alpha over 2 and this alone is going to be alpha over 2. So alpha again is a probability, very similar to the confidence interval, which is another probability. All right, so what's the relationship between the C and the alpha? Always alpha is going to be equals to 1 minus C. All right, so this is where coming from our formula, 1 minus C divided by 2, that's the size of this area in here. And usually that's what we need for using the calculator to figure out this value, T alpha over 2. Of course, this is going to be the negative, and this value here is going to be the positive. And by symmetry, we're going to, if we get this one, then you're going to get the right side as well. Okay. Now, there is another thing that you might need as well for this. If they give you the N equals to 8, actually you don't need the N, you need the degree of freedom. And degree of freedom for the T distribution is always N minus 1. So this is going to be by consequence equals to 7. I think we have other information to use. It's pretty much very similar to inverse normal, but we're going to use it for the T distribution, right? So first thing to do is second and vars to access to distributions, and then you're going to go to inverse T, number 4. All right, so enter. What they're going to ask you, always they're going to ask you about the left side area. So if I'm looking for this value, T alpha over 2, I have to put this area, which is alpha over 2, which is 1 minus C. Yeah, I forgot I didn't calculate it. So this is going to be 1 minus 0.9 divided by 2. And this should be equal to 0.0500. All right. Okay, so let's put it down. So this is going to be 0.05. Degree of freedom we say is 7. And we're going to paste it, enter, and enter. And here you go. So this is going to be minus 1.8945. All right, so by consequence this is going to be the positive side, 1.8945. I think you need to round it to 3 decimal places, and that's what you have on your table. So this should be 1.895, and this should be the answer that you are supposed to plug in. And let's plug it in, and that's correct.